You don't attract what you want, you attract what you're terrified of. And your brain has been doing this your entire life without you noticing. I'll show you why in the next few seconds. Why it matters. This single pattern controls who you choose, what you avoid, and why you keep ending up in the same painful situations over and over again. Let me walk you through the exact mental traps that are running your life right now. Hypervigilance. When you fear something, your brain doesn't ignore it. It scans for it constantly. Psychologists call this selective attention. Your mind becomes a radar system, locked onto the exact thing you're trying to avoid. Example, you're terrified of rejection. So at every party, every text message, every conversation, your brain is hunting for signs someone doesn't like you. A delayed response, a short answer, a neutral face. Your nervous system is screaming, find the rejection before it finds you. Consequence, your amygdala, the fear center or panic button, starts running the show. It interprets neutral events as threats. You're not reading the room anymore. You're reading your fear into the room. Fix? Name the fear out loud before you enter the situation. It reduces amygdala activation by up to 30%. But here's where it gets worse. Confirmation bias. Once your brain decides what to look for, it finds it everywhere, even when it's not there. Studies show we're 4 times more likely to notice information that confirms what we already believe, especially our fears. Example, you fear being abandoned. Your partner goes quiet for an afternoon because they're overwhelmed at work. But your brain doesn't see busy, it sees pulling away. You start acting cold, distant, testing them. And now you've created the exact distance you were afraid of. Consequence, your prefrontal cortex, the logic center, gets overridden. You stop asking, is this true, and start asking, how is this true? Fix? Ask yourself, what else could this mean before you react? It forces your brain to consider alternative explanations. And it spirals from there. Behavioral leaking. Your fear doesn't stay inside your head. It leaks into your body language, your tone, your micro decisions, and people feel it before you even spook. Example, you're afraid no one takes you seriously. So in meetings, you over-explain. You apologize before making points. You laugh nervously after every statement. And everyone in the room now sees you exactly how you feared. Unsure, unsteady, not serious. Consequence, your mirror neurons in other people's brains pick up your anxiety and reflect it. You're literally teaching people how to treat you through your fear signals. Fix, record yourself speaking for 30 seconds. Watch for apologies, filler words, and self-sabotaging gestures you don't realize you're making. But the real damage happens next. Self-fulfilling prophecy. This is where fear becomes reality. When you expect something bad, you unconsciously engineer it. Psychologists have documented this for decades. Expectations shape outcomes more than talent, effort, your circumstance. Example, you're convinced you're bad at relationships. So, you pick emotionally unavailable partners, you don't set boundaries, you tolerate disrespect because this is just how I am. And when it falls apart, you nod and say, see, I told you. Not realizing you auditioned for this exact ending. Consequence, your brain releases dopamine when predictions come true, even painful ones. You get a hit of I knew it satisfaction that keeps the cycle running. Fix? Write down your relationship pattern, then deliberately do the opposite in one small way. Break the prediction loop. And here's the part no one talks about. Energy matching. You don't just attract people, you attract energy that matches your internal frequency. If you're vibrating at fear, chaos, and scarcity, that's what shows up. Example, you're scared of being broke, So you think about money constantly. You check your account 5 times a day. You panic over small purchases. And somehow, unexpected expenses keep appearing. Your car breaks down, your laptop crashes. It's not bad luck, it's resonance. Consequence: your autonomic nervous system stays in fight or flight mode, which impairs decision-making and makes you more reactive, more reckless with resources. Fix: spend 2 minutes a day visualizing financial stability as if it's already here. It rewires your nervous system away from panic mode. But there's a deeper layer.
Subconscious familiarity. Your brain craves what it knows, even if what it knows is pain. Neuroscience shows we're drawn to familiar patterns because they feel safe, even when they're destructive. Example: you grew up in a chaotic household, yelling, instability, emotional landmines. Now, as an adult, you're bored by calm, stable people. They feel off. But the unpredictable partner, hot and cold, keeps you guessing? That feels like home. That feels like love. Consequence: your hippocampus, the memory center, prioritizes familiar emotional states over healthy ones. You mistake comfort for compatibility. Fix: list the emotional patterns from your childhood, then ask, am I choosing this or just repeating this? And it gets even more calculated. Protective self-sabotage. Sometimes you attract what you fear on purpose. Not consciously, but your subconscious thinks, if I make it happen on my terms, at least I'm in control. Example: you're terrified of failure. So right before the big presentation, the important deadline, the final exam, you don't prepare. You procrastinate. You show up half ready. And when you fail, you get to say, well, I didn't really try. You never have to face the scarier question: what if I gave it everything and still wasn't enough? Consequence: your brain gets a false sense of control. It's not that you failed, it's that you chose not to succeed. The illusion protects your ego, but destroys your potential. Fix: commit to showing up fully prepared once, just once, and let the outcome teach you the truth about your capability. Here's where it crosses into relationships. Anxious attachment loop. If you fear abandonment, you cling. And clinging is the fastest way to push someone away. Psychologists call this the anxious avoidant trap, and it's devastatingly common. Example: you're dating someone emotionally unavailable. They pull back. You panic. You text more. You need reassurance. You create conflict just to feel connected. And they pull back even further. You've turned your fear into a self-executing program. Consequence: your ventral striatum, the reward center, gets activated by the chase, the uncertainty, the drama. Your brain starts associating love with anxiety. Fix: practice sitting with uncertainty for 24 hours before reacting. It breaks the panic response loop. But the pattern runs even deeper. Identity reinforcement. You attract what you fear, because deep down, you believe you are the fear. If you fear being unlovable, you've built an identity around it. And identities fight for survival, even toxic ones. Example: you secretly believe you're not good enough. So when someone treats you well, respects you, and values you, it feels wrong, uncomfortable. You start finding flaws in them. You pick fights. You push them away, because their presence threatens the story you've been telling yourself for years. Consequence: your anterior cingulate cortex, the part that monitors self-concept, resists change. It wants you to stay consistent with your identity, even if that identity is painful. Fix: write I am blank, and then I am blank every day for a week. It creates cognitive dissonance that loosens rigid self-concepts. And then there's the projection trap. Shadow projection. The qualities you fear in yourself, you see in everyone else. Carl Jung called it the shadow, the disowned parts of your psyche that you project outward. Example: you're terrified you're selfish, so you see selfishness everywhere. Your friend cancels plans, selfish. Your partner wants alone time, selfish. Your coworker takes credit, selfish. But really, you're just watching your own hidden fear play out on other people's faces. Consequence: your brain uses projection as a defense mechanism. Instead of facing the fear in yourself, you exile it and hunt it in others. Fix: when you judge someone harshly, ask, where in my life am I doing a version of this? It brings the shadow into awareness. Now we get into the chemical part. Cortisol addiction. Fear isn't just mental, it's chemical, and your body can become addicted to the stress hormones it produces: cortisol, adrenaline, norepinephrine. Example: your life is finally calm, stable, peaceful, and suddenly you feel restless, anxious, bored. So you create drama. You pick a fight with your partner. You take a financial risk you can't afford. You manufacture chaos because your nervous system is craving the chemical cocktail it's used to. Consequence: your adrenal glands have been overproducing cortisol so long that baseline feels like withdrawal. You need the hit. Fix: introduce high-intensity exercise to burn off excess cortisol without creating life drama. It gives your body the release it's craving. And here's the invisible trap: learned helplessness. When fear becomes routine, you stop fighting it. You accept it as fate. Psychologists documented this in the 1960s. When organisms can't escape pain, they eventually stop trying, even when escape becomes possible. Example: you've been rejected so many times that you stop putting yourself out there. You've been overlooked so many times that you stop speaking up. You failed so many times that you stop setting goals. You've learned that effort doesn't matter, so you just stop. And in stopping, you guarantee the pattern continues. So why does this keep happening to you? You attract what you fear because fear is a signal, and your brain is designed to follow signals. Hypervigilance makes you search for it. Confirmation bias makes you find it. Behavioral leaking makes you broadcast it. A self-fulfilling prophecy makes you create it. And subconscious familiarity makes you choose it. The truth? You're not cursed. You're not broken. You're just running an outdated program. And the second you see the pattern, you can rewrite it. If this hits you in the chest, don't just watch and forget. Pick one pattern, and break it this week. Not because you have to, because you're done proving your fears right. Subscribe and drop a comment with the one pattern you're breaking this week. No explanations, no stories, just the pattern. Public commitment hits different.